Let's see. Always gotta do like. Gotta do like. There we go. Microphones sound good. Microphones sound good. Music sound good. Biddies sound very, very good. Oh, what a good day to like. Honestly, a great day to have that be the starting lead point, huh? Yeah. Lucky, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Thank you, thank you. Calvin, thank you so much for dropping the lurk reading. I feel like that's just gonna be part of the catchphrase going forward. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for lurking. 3 things that you keep counting on in life: death, taxes, and friends being there as soon as the go live notifications hit. It's like, what a wonderful time. Wonderful time to be alive. Just moving the just moving my little calendar magnet around. I've got one of those dry erase magnetic calendars up in my office, so I can like write down stuff and have the dates be visible, so I don't just like go completely time blind with my commitments. And I have like a little magnet that I use to like slide across the days. It's nice, but also part of why the model just goes like, because then I remember I gotta look over. All right, do our start of stream stretch. Stretch out, not stress out. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and today is the Daily Grind. It's Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. Gotta chat. I finally have a Canadian bank account. I finally fucking have a Canadian bank account. I am so fucking relieved. Go from lucky. Well, I'm there as much as I can be. If I ever go on another trip out of town, like the wedding for your ex-girlfriend's roommate, you'll probably miss a stream or two. Man, that'd be horrible, wouldn't it? You'd break your 100 stream. You're so close, Lucky. You're so close. You're so close to the 100 stream streak. Meanwhile, I'm close to. I was close to breaking down today, on account of how when I was doing my bank stuff, how like I was so excited once I finally had the bank account set up. I was like, finally, I can transfer my money, and then we'll be good. So I went into PayPal, and I was like, okay, give me my money. And the PayPal said no, and I was like, why? And PayPal was like, because this is an American account, you can't put in Canadian account. And I'm like, fuck. All right, transfer the money to my wife. And PayPal said no, and then I was like, why not? And they said, because you don't have a bank account or a credit card linked to the account. And I was like, fuck. I had to crash out in the V Chronicle Guild Hall. And I did what I always do. I had my little eruption meltdown, and then I tried working on alternatives, and the first thing I did was I went through Twitch, Ko-fi, and Patreon. Those are the 3 things that I currently have as available income spaces. And I went and I updated the direct deposits into my Canadian bank account. That was not an issue. Ko-fi took a little bit more setting up. So now, when I get my Twitch payout, now when Ko-fi donations come in, it's going to go to my bank. Then I went back to PayPal, and I started trying to look into alternatives. And then I saw, hey, I can transfer money to friends and family abroad, in a foreign country. And I was like, oh, here goes nothing. And I tried it, and it worked. Hopefully. The money that I got from my past couple of Twitch payouts, as well as the money that was fundraised during my birthday week, helped me afford my first tattoo. All of that amounted to like about 320 USD. That's not a small amount of change, but I transferred that over. We're gonna find out by the end of the week if my wife receives that money, and then once she gets it, she can transfer it, you know, fee free, no transfer fees whatsoever, to my new checking account, and then we can and then I will have a checking account of my own with my own monies in it. So here's hoping. Here's hoping that we're finally over the worst of it. Because I have a couple of artists that I'm looking at right now. And once I have the funds in, well, basically once my wife has the funds, we're set. But it'll be like well over a month since my initial birthday before we can follow up on that tattoo. But then I can finally get the tattoo. Don't you know, I am just gonna feel so much better once the money is back. I'm never using PayPal again. Never. They said that I cannot just turn my American account into a Canadian account. It's like, no, the legal things are different. So, like, you can't just, like, update this into a Canada account. No, fuck you. Fuck you. And you can only have, like, 2 accounts, by the way. You can only have 2 accounts, and only if one of them is a business account. Man, everything. Every time. I've heard how bad PayPal is. I've heard how awful it is before. But I also never had more than like $80 in my PayPal at any one time. And I was only ever using it as to get money transferred over to like friends and stuff. Like I had it linked up to my checking account, and then PayPal would just be the intermediary to transfer it. So like I did not have to rely on PayPal before as a holding wallet before. So I haven't had the issues before. But like the second you actually start holding money in PayPal, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when it becomes a problem, and just I'm so tired from all the chat. Which is fine, because today is stream day. Now we're gonna be. You have to cast blue and black spells, which is why we have the deck that we have on here. You know who else is tired? Emmett Selk. Fucking final villain of the Shadowbreeze expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. We're gonna be playing a combo deck. We're gonna be playing a combo deck that tries to win with Tendrils of Agony. I'm gonna run through the combo real quick. So essentially, what we're going to be doing is we're gonna try to chain together enough spells to get the storm count on Tendrils of Agony to be lethal. This has storm, so every time so whenever we cast Tendrils, it's going to copy itself for every storm cast before it this turn. So we have our Tendrils as the payoff. We have Emmett Selk, who just, whenever he enters or attacks, you draw and then you discard a card. Maybe we'll get a chance to transform him into Hades and recast stuff from the graveyard. Maybe. Not necessarily likely, but possible, potentially. Oh, that's right. There's a, there could Gix or something. Yeah, Priest of Gix. Hold on. We'll craft that and then we'll cut a card out of it real quick after this. But explaining the combo. So Emmett comes in, and then he can discard our main target, which is the Hoarding Broodlord. The Hoarding Broodlord goes to the graveyard, and then we reanimate it. So now it's on the board, and it grabs any card that we want from our deck, exiles it. And then the spells that we have in exile can be convoked. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab Saw in Half. Combo. Saw in Half makes 2 copies of Hoarding Broodlord. Cuts them in half. Literally cuts them in half and makes 2 token copies. We're going to use those copies, and we're going to get Sacrifice, which, as an additional cost, we have to sacrifice a creature, and then we get to add black mana equal to its mana value. We're also going to add Final Parting. Final Parting is a 5 mana tutor. Puts 1 into your hand and the other into the graveyard. With Final Parting, we're going to go ahead and turn that into Scholar of the Lost Trove and or reverse Persistent and Reanimate. Scholar of the Trove comes into play. We get to do saw in half again on the scholar, and then the scholar can turn it back into a sacrifice for more mana, as well as into the final parting. And then from there, we can go into Teach the Mirror, cast it with Bargain to cast the Tendrils. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 22 spells. Plus additional spells, depending on what the Scholar copies can chain into, and whatever we can chain into with the extra mana from. But baseline, this is an 11 card chain that should kill the opponent. And then we've also got like some smaller stuff in here too. We've got the Here into the Abyss shoulder combo because we're running the Run Ring. I'm a little iffy on whether or not I want to run Paradox Engine. Your stream. That's basically what we're going to be trying to do. This is a work in progress deck, which means that we are almost certainly going to be hunting and losing quite a bit. But the important thing is that we are trying out a cool new deck. And also a deck that's going to contribute to the eventual, a brawl deck for every Final Fantasy XIV commander type video that I want to make sometime. I'm looking down for Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy VIII right now. Those are the two Final Fantasies I've played. I'm so sleepy. Yeah. But I'm okay. I'm good. And other than that, we're just gonna chill out, relax. Although maybe not as chill as if we were playing like Triple Try, which we will be doing on Friday. Also, speaking of plans this week, I forgot that by virtue of Wednesday being we have plans to go out, and Thursday is we have plans to play BG3 with Fran and Jess. That means there's not going to be a wife stream. Wash Away, Persist, Chrome Lantern, Final Parting. One of our combo pieces with the Mirror Signet. I think that's fine. We're up against Raph and Mikey, so they're not going to have interaction for us. It's just going to be a race. We'll go into Signet. We can have to go into Lantern. We'll use Selk to push the drop this Fatal Push because we're just not going to worry about Fatal Push. Let's see. We want to start leaving up like a blue. Yeah, we're going to start leaving up a blue. Yeah. I probably want to play Selk so that way Selk can start digging. I get to play Ottawa first. Actually, hold on. If I go... No, I don't want to play Strix yet. When they have like enough mana. I can also like Final Party on the next... Yeah, let's just go ahead. We'll drop Selk and then we'll drop the Fatal Push. Oh, or we could just like drop the Hoarding Broodlord and like pop off on the next turn. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that. If they have like a Summer Veil in their hand, then like, you know. But also now we're in a position where Selk can attack and do stuff. Selk can dig us through a little bit. Yeah, that's a Tyrannus Rex. Sure thing. I mean, it's kind of a problem. Not like your main problem. Ooh. I think we attack first. Because then we get the draw and then discard, drop the Fatal Push. Perfect. I want... Alright, so here's Persist. Persist onto the Broodlord. Broodlord is, like I said, gonna grab Saw in half. Gotta remember. Get to cast this. Tap, tap. Grab Victimize. No. We're gonna grab Ritual. Need to grab the one that makes mana equal to Sacrifice. There we go. We're gonna go Sacrifice with the first one. Second one, we already have Final Parting. So we can grab like a payoff card. We can grab Mind's Desire even. Teach the Mirror, Sholdred. I can even grab like Priest of Gix because that's just free value, right? Yeah, I can grab Priest of Gix because that's just free value. And then we are going to go. Hey, tap this, sacrifice this. And then get the 3. Here's Final Parting. Then we can grab the Scholar and Reanimate. Put a card into your hand, the other will go into your graveyard. Now we can go ahead and grab the Scholar. Saw in half. And now we get to go ahead and sacrifice again. We can also assist again. Oh yeah! Let's assist. Yeah, we can grab this. Here's sacrifice again. Sacrifice the Boarding Broodlord. Now we have cast with Convoke. Sacrifice. And then this should be Tendrils for lethal. Oh wait, no, was that not? Oh yeah, that should work, right? I think so. I think I missed the line actually. Hold on. Because they're at 23. The storm count was 10, right? Yeah. Okay. That was going to be 22. I needed to cast one more spell. And that's what I needed the Chromatic Lantern for. So, like, we had it, but, we missed the target. We missed the target just a little bit. But, like, hey, you know what? Proof of concept. Proof of concept. There we go. So, like, I forgot that the Saw in Half destroys. The Saw in Half destroys. It does not exile. Which means that we can actually keep going, like, Final Parting, Reanimate, Scholar, Horde, Tease Mirror. So, like, the Scholar can cast the Final Parting again. That can grab a Victimize and a Dark Writ for even more mana. Just, like, arbitrarily building more mana. Very important to keep in mind. Very important. Okay, let's, hold on. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot. Guy and be like, hey, you know what? Excellent. Like, we got pretty lucky hitting the Broodlord off the top. And hopefully, as we get more reps, we'll become more familiar and we'll be able to like do more counting. Yep, there's a Veil Summer Special Fancy Edition. This Hunger. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, this artifact deals 1 damage to each opponent. Music beats out. Right. I'm gonna lower it just a tad, just a skosh. Another card, you may play the card. I don't know. I just feel like Selk would play a Storm deck like that. I mean, maybe you could argue that he would actually play like a long, slow game. But like... Oh. I see. Hold on, what? What happened to the, okay. Oh, my model's lagging. My model is lagging so bad right now. Hold on, check the performance real quick. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully everything's okay. This is fine. Everything's just a little bit laggy. I wonder if I am... Oh, Compy is struggling. Compy is struggling right now. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna have to, like, close VTube Studio then. Why? It's every time that I mouse over to... Arena, yeah? Yeah. Actually, that's not a bad... You know what? Actually, I'm gonna drop both of these rocks so they don't get Thoughtseize out of my hand. Concerned. Very concerned about the lagging, right? I might need to reset Arena after this game. I guess the important thing is that it's broadcasting. Oh, they're running the Xerox style deck. Okay. So I think my opponent might be a little harder into the trying to get Hades version. Maybe they're lagging on their side too. Like, might actually just not be. Could be a thing, not necessarily my copy thing. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Okay. Hopefully with a reset, Arena won't be slowing down the rest of my computer. I feel like I remember there being an issue with memory leaks early on, but that was like 10 years ago. Incidentally, we're not going out to a bar tonight. The main reason that Wifey wanted to head out to a bar today was to do some hangout with some of the people that we were meeting with at least, but they're probably going to do that next week instead. Back. So not fantastic. So instead, we're going to go out and we're going to play minis instead. I will keep this. I want blue or roll. Probably grabbing a Surveil land either way. Tassiger. Let's put out Verdant Catacombs. If I need to fetch out a dual land and then Vampiric Tutor, we have that option. I don't have anything to pair with the Force Negation yet. They're playing Tasker, which means they're on Sultai, which means that the Stifle effects are on board. Birds of Paradise. Sure thing. Now, the real question is, am I popping Vampiric Tutor now? Or am I waiting? I think I'm waiting. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Surveil land. Runescar Demon, you want that in the graveyard. Which means that we have the option of using Vampiric Tutor. Start chaining things together. Turn this into a shock land for me. I could Night's Whisper. I'm going to Baleful Strix instead. Hollow. Play tap because we don't have basics. Priest of Gix. That turns into a Night's Whisper and a Vampiric Tutor. Psychic Frog. That's a good reason to have Baleful Strix up. I can play Emmet, but they have Birds of Paradise out. So I'm not really worried about that. What am I worried about? I probably want to reanimate for the Runescar Demon, right? Right. Brood Lord is probably more important. So if I can set up the Brood Lord and then get Selk out. Pretty happy about that. I could Priest of Gix first. Just to get another creature on board. I'll go ahead and run Selk into a Wash Away. Because Wash Away has a chance to mess up our combo turn later. Yep, saw that coming. That's fine. We're playing this for the long game anyway, and then we can hold a Force Negation on the next turn. Alright, yeah, sure. Jace the Perfected Mind. This is for self-milling. No, they're just going to make it so that way the frog can attack in, no problem. Do I care? No. Alright, so the frog gets to draw a card. It's only a problem if they're like super hard control. I could play Tucken. I'm going to go ahead and play this Hollow. And since I have a Brainstorm to pair with it now, I'll go ahead and Night's Whisper. Okay. No attacks past turn. Something cool about this field is that this is the Lore and Eclipse field. So the field is going to tug of war back and forth. Yep.
Become subdued.
Do I block with the Strix? I feel like that's a creature that I need for Oaks, so like they are just going to get another draw off the frog. The frog will have drawn them 2 cards. They're looking to discard cards to the frog to deal damage, maybe. Redraw off that. I can Vampiric Tutor with Force back. Force of Negation I cannot cast for its alternative cast cards on our turn, so we're not going to be deploying with backups. Still don't have like a reanimate. But if I reanimate the Runescar Demon, I add Hoarding Broodlord to hand. So then maybe that's correct, actually. Grab the Persist. Grab the Persist. Play that. We have this Priest of Gix here. We can play that to our Persist. Like, this might be a turn where we can theoretically go off. And now we have the mana to pay for the force negation. Okay, so they're gonna go dig through time. That's... Do I force that? I don't think I need to. I think I let them dig, and if they try and, like, force the persist... I've also just, like, got this Mind's Desire that I can play, too. If I grab Victimize... No, I can't. No, yes, I can, because I can use the floating mana to ritual into Mind's Desire. So, I can grab the Hoarding Broodlord, which has Convoke. That's not going to do what I need to do. I need to grab... I can grab Saw in half. That's not going to do what I wanted to do either. I think I'm... Weirdly enough... Do I want to try and high roll this? Is there a way for me to parlay this into... I think with the Force Negation up, I'm just going to go ahead and grab Ritual. No! Fuck! Misclick. Misclick. I was going to grab Sacrifice the Demon. I was going to parlay that into a Mind's Desire. And that sucks. You know, it's also just like, it doesn't even have to be a mouse thing. I've been suspecting that my mouse has been, like, wonky. I think it might also just be, like, the arena interface. Like, I do need to just take a second to make sure that I'm highlighting on the card that I want. Fall in the Week with Inquisition. Pretty good here. Take a second to verify that I have highlighted the card that I want to run. Let's see. Giver of Runes. I don't care about that. Fairy's Protection is... You would yell, oh fuck, right when the TV was quiet between shows and Denise was watching. Look, you knew what you were getting yourself into. I have Dispel, so let's grab Shelter by Use. Yep, there's Giver. You don't have to care about Giver. Redraw with the Wishclaw Talisman. That's pretty good. Rune Lurker Bat, which... Let's see... Prize 1. Fresco Clockmate. I have Call in the Week here as well. 2.5. No therapy sessions needed. I don't think I'm going for Call in the Week just yet. Go ahead and... Docadel. Alright, Suck's gonna come into play. We get the draw and then discard. Knight's Whisper isn't bad. That's a way to reload. Think of the Stupor. I still think I want the Dispel. So... Drop this. Drop this thing. I'm gonna play a little bit greedy. I have this Wishclaw Talisman that I can use to also pop off. It's just an issue of I do have... This is a 3-cost card. That lifelink is also just going to be a problem. Ooh, Urborg. I can't attack profitably with Selk. I could, because that just, like, what? Gives him a life? Puts him up to 27. But I would get an extra attack in. I can attack with the Strix now. For a reason. If I wait, like, one more turn, they do get, like, a lot more life, but I also get the Clockmaker. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and drop the clockmaker. I'm not going to try and go ataxies. Tax pass. And then tomorrow... Next turn. Not tomorrow, next turn. Next turn, we'll try our hand at popping off. And yeah, they can go ahead. They can dink us for 1. Now that Rust goes out, that's going to make trying to chain everything together a lot more easy, a lot better. Alright, so how do we want to do this? I can ponder to try and dig. I've got Wishclaw Talisman to start popping off. I think we're just going to go for it because then I can use Selk. I don't have the Reanimate. The Wishclaw Talisman has to grab Reanimate. Yeah, it has to grab Reanimate. I don't have what I need yet. That's the biggest issue. So let's go ahead and we'll ponder. Saw in half is a viable target here. Sure. The real question is, do I have a way to, like, shuffle that back, though? I'm going to be using the Knight's Whisper, too. I mean, I guess I got the Wishclaw Talisman. Actually, you know what? What if instead... I just played a land, right? No. I'm just going to go ahead and use this as a shuffle effect. I have 2 untapped lands, so I can go ahead and grab my Sunken Hollow. Then we're going to Knight's Whisper. Bishop's Bauble. Hold that for the next turn, I think. And then I can play the Wishclaw Talisman now. Activate only during your turn. They have a disenchant. Does that just, like, ruin everything? A little bit. But this is what sets up the best for next turn. Pass turn. I guess I gotta be careful because the midnight clock also... Oh, right, how Leah triggers on artifacts I want to play too. Attacking with a 5/5 is pretty bad. I was going to call the week with Rusko and Emmett. Can I afford to just take 6? I think I can. I think I can with Rusko out. Alright, so our turn. Yep, they're at 29. I have to attack with Emmett, no matter what. Force of Will is kind of... Yeah, I'm always attacking with Emmett here. And if I lose Emmett, whatever. We do not care. They can double block. Oh, they're just gonna take it? Works for me. Okay. Wishclaw Talisman. Search for... I guess I don't have the ability to discard anymore, huh? I guess I can use Final Parting. I could use Final Parting. Let's do it for science. And then go ahead, activate. We're gonna grab Final Parting. Play that. Final Parting. I still have this spell up. Alright, we're gonna grab Broodlord, and then we're also gonna grab Reanimate. Because I am gonna be tight on... put a card into your hand. Yeah, I was gonna go. Graveyard. Get back our Broodlord. And now we're going to grab our Saw in Half. Also, we're going to go ahead and do it like this. Because now the midnight clock is going to trigger, which is only slightly problematic. Vampiric Tutor, you say? Alright, so we don't have the ability... Oh, wait, no, we can still grab Final Parting. And then also we can still re-grab our Sacrifice. Yes, actually, this works, this works, this works. See, we just gotta find it. I think that actually just saved our bacon. Sacrifice the token. Alright, and then we can just Final Parting again. We can. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then just to, like, you know, continue to gain the practice. Oh my god. It's Rusk. Right. Rusko's the one that's actually draining the life onto the midnight clock. Which is fantastic. Because we resolve the Final Parting. We go ahead, we grab a Scholar, and then we grab... We need to reanimate. I might need to reanimate. Yeah, we can go ahead and grab reanimate. Scholar comes into... we reanimate the Scholar. Scholar reanimate. Goes into Saw in Half, which casts our Sacrifice and our... Oh, no, wait, no. It would definitely want to be Persist, because then otherwise we die to the Broodlord. But yeah, grab Persist. Persist the Scholar. Scholar gets sawn in half. Each of those Scholars grabs Sacrifice and Persist, which brings back the Broodlord. And so we are chaining everything that we need together in order to get our tendrils. Oh my god. I was worried that the tutoring for the Final Parting was actually going to be the thing that killed us, because it would be out of sequence. But having the midnight clock reset our graveyard, so that way we could re-tutor for the pieces that we needed. Beautiful. Cinema. Absolute cinema. do 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 do. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the MTG Brawl subreddit for helping me out. I went on and made a thread asking about how to make a good Storm deck, specifically with Emet-Selch, but also like in general. And they fill me in on the Broodlord combo. Fortunately, thanks to all this storming off, we've already met our quota for the day on blue-black spells. Ow, crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. I'll also say this. This is a little bit faster than the last Storm deck that I played, where it wasn't really like Storm. It was Intruder Alarm combo. That had a lot more clicks and was a lot less forgiving. Uh-oh, we got a Johnny. Okay, so we get to go first. We got Mox Amber, Ponder, Force and Negate, Fatal Push, Beseech. We also got a little bit of lag on Fort. Got a Mox Amber. How do we want? I could go Ponder now. There shouldn't be a way for them to play a Johnny turn 1. That's the important. So go ahead and give me Ponder. Yep, we're getting a bit of that lag burst again. With a 4-pill? These come into play tapped. I guess the Agnet comes into play tapped. We'll play the Sewers, and that lets the Vantress come into play untapped. Which isn't the worst. You know what? I'll take it. Because now I can play the Undercity Sewers on the next turn and surveil the Agni away. Normally Arena doesn't lag this bad. But it's definitely on my computer end because my heckin' model keeps getting backdropped. Oh yeah, we're experiencing awful Arena lag again. All right, close the Unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? You do what you gotta. Yep. Alright. Congratulations, we're going faceless. Going faceless, no model. Model, no pressure. We can bring the model back when we go to Final Fantasy mode. Hexing Squelcher? Really? Well, I guess there's not a lot I can do about that. Let's go Castle Vantress, drop Mox, play Selk. Maybe drop the Cold Steel because we want more land drops. I think it's probably drop the Cold. With a Squelcher out, I can't just deal with a Johnny. Thalia. That's a problem. That actually just makes my deck significantly worse. Okay, then. I want... I guess this Force Negation's not helping anymore, huh? They're willing to trade. Didn't think so. Okay, I've got two options here. I can either kill Thalia, counter a Johnny. I think that's what I need to do. I think I need to kill 2 cats in 1 stone. Well, let's them go. We'll see exactly what they're going to commit towards. Yep, I do in fact have to pay the 2. And now I get to... Oh, god damn it. Wrong lever! God damn it. I forgot about the fucking Squelcher. Sure. Sure. Fuck. Alright, so I've got the Beseech. I still don't have a way to, like, reanimate or attack. There's... Let's go attacks. Okay, there we go. Now I care less about that because I can Beseech. Do I care here? Probably not, right? If I can officially just, like, start going off. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go all in. Let's go Prismatic Valley, crack that. The important thing is that, you know, Thalia's gone. And I'm gonna have to... If I cast it off the Mox Amp, then... yeah. Sacrifice the Mox Amber. I can always beseech back with Scholar. So that's... let's see. I'm gonna grab Persist, right? Yeah, I'm gonna grab Persist. Alright, there we go. Now we go ahead. We grab our Broodlord. Broodlord comes into play. We're gonna grab Saw in half. Won't skip steps. Grab Saw in half. Cast Saw in half. Target the Broodlord. Now we're gonna grab Final Parting. We're gonna grab Sacrifice. Hey, Sam! Sacrifice that token. Get mana. Final Parting. Sacrifice. Tap that. Grab Scholar and Animate. Put a card into hand. We want to grab Reanimate to our hand. Reanimate the Scholar. Scholar is now going to copy the Thaw in half. Target the Scholar. Now we get 2 Scholars. And now we have a couple of choices to make. It's probably Persist and Final Parting. Yeah. The Final Parting. Oh, and then we also need the Beseech. Persist, target the Scholar. Persist, targeting the Horde. Hold on, let me just double check something real quick. We need Scholar to get back Leech for Tendrils. Yeah, that's what we need. So then... actually, no. Add Tendrils to hand. Add Tendrils to hand. Alright. Add Tendrils to hand. So if we just Beseech, we can just chain that into, like, whatever. Chain that into whatever. We can also, like, get... no, we want to sacrifice. Okay, yep, there we go. And now we can continue to chain this together. We're going to search for Tendrils, which is currently at 10. Oh, we actually already have Lethal, don't we? And then one of these just goes to the graveyard. Doesn't really matter much what it is, I guess. But in anything with flashback. One into your hand. Then, yeah, we'll just go ahead and kill a Johnny. And then now we can just Tendrils for life. Yay! Holy shit. Phew! Alright, also, let me just do something real quick. Hi, Sam. Hey, what is up? We are having so much... gonna turn on the group Fugi. I'm gonna hop in my Discord call, and we're gonna get that back. I'm trying to think. I only have like the 2 reanimate spells. I should probably like consider having a right. Oh no, Discord doesn't want to open up either. Okay, so I guess I just can't actually. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. What if instead I... Nope. Trying to think here. You know what? Let's go ahead and just pull in like a placeholder picture. Yeah, let's... I'll grab... Where's me? You know what? That works. Yay! Okay, you know what? It's jank as hell, but right now computer is struggling, so it works out perfectly fine. What did I do with that last one, by the way? I went and did Runescarred to the graveyard, Tendrils to hand. That was yeah. That was Exile, Final Party, and Sacrifice. Sacrifice for the mana was really important. I had tokens on board, so like I could have beseeched actually. I could have cast Beseech and used and bargained that into Tendrils of Agony. I'm trying to think if there's a way that I can parlay that into. But Broodlord would need another reanimate target. That's something to keep it. But hey, you know what? This is working out just great. I like this. Which means that I can actually take out some of the... I'm going to take out some of the other combo type stuff real quick. Like, not the other type of combo, but I am going to start lasering in on the Broodlord combo now that we are making that work better. So... the One Ring is Shouldered. That's probably fine, but we don't need to run here into the Abyss. Take out the Paradox Engine. Do I want to take out the Paradox Engine? Paradox Engine makes a lot of mana. Take out the Paradox Engine. We can leave in Terra. I think Terra's probably okay. Yeah, wait, no. Maybe that's the reason to put Paradox in, because then I have Terra here to like help shuffle as an alternative. No fear. No fear. Do that. Cut out the Aetherflux Reservoir then. We can leave in the One Ring because the One Ring is a fucked up magic card. Drawing cards is also pretty fucked up. We can probably add in some more road stop creatures, some more cheap draws, like a Sign in Blood would be alright. Think. We can also add in more reanimation effects. I like that. We've got Egrix and we've got Bolas' Citadel for also building up. I don't think we need those anymore. In fact, I think it's almost entirely tutoring going. Yeah, I think it's almost entirely tutoring going. Yep, Discord just doesn't want to turn on. Discord just does not want to turn on. You know what? Hold on. Is there like a maybe part of it is that I have like no left on. Sure. I guess that could be it. If I go and delete 1, 2, I've got a BG. I doubt that's gonna actually help out, but that's what it is. Hold on. How's reanimate? It is returned and reanimate is What? Once I make a couple of changes, we'll be good to go ahead and start some Final Fantasy. At which point we'll be relying on good old Thamor to be the mouthpiece here. Oh, what do we want to grab? Looking for any sort of reanimate type card, so Unearth is not going to work. We don't want Chitonia Nightmare. No, Priest is too expensive. The closest might be a Necromancy. This would probably be like just an extender or a way to kick things off, but it's not going to be good at being a card that we can recast off of Scholar. That's the big thing, is that Scholar can cast instant sorceries and artifacts from our graveyard. Wait, it can cast artifacts? Never realized that I could do that. Yeah, I used to have a P program. Oh well. Maybe I'll set like backup. I've been meaning to like have some of the stuff. Victimize could be a good card there. Choose 2 target creatures in your graveyard, sack a creature. If you do, return the chosen cards to the battlefield. So like, have Necromancy as an option, Victimize as an option. There just isn't anything on the level of Reanimate or Persist. Not with that level of efficiency, even though that's like, well, I guess technically Zombify. Is Zombify like a card that I would actually consider? Just because it has so many less conditions on it? Maybe. Notably, Victimize is a resolution on the sacrifice. It's not a cost. So like we could, we can also just like grab more draw. I feel like we want one more instant sorcery that can reanimate, and needs to be an instant sorcery for Scholar purposes. Maybe it is just by everything else is just more expensive. Weird thing to say. Sneaky Stacker. Sneaky Stacker's an all-star in Pauper. Of course it's a Horizons card. Of course it's a. Let's see. So we're at this point we're less looking for, yeah, additional combat pieces. Search. So like search in. No, search sorcery. Ooh, Mystical Tutor actually. Yeah, include Mystical Tutor. Fabricate, Test of Talents. No. There is Solve the Equation. Solve the Equation helps that a bit. There's also Grim Tutor. This is a lose 3 life to search for one. Solve the Equation is a little bit more flexible, I think. Just want to. What do I want? What do I really want? Grim Tutor does just grab anything though. Yeah. I'm looking to try and like extend my combo, and I've got Scholar and Broodlord out. I don't know, kind of intricate in terms of deck building, how you want to build this. Grim Tutor, Necromancy, Mystical Tutor. Then maybe Sign and Blood. Just as another 2-mana draw. Maybe hold on. Maybe add a Pact Negation. Necromancy. Victimize also requires 2 creatures, so you can't actually like use that as well as you would do. So maybe just include Zombify, not the Necromancies. I think it's important that the Zombify is also like a 4 cost or lower that we can add. That's probably important. Then yeah, add a pact negation actually for the additional backup that we might need. That. And then I feel like what I want is a creature. Creature that can help the combo. Like it can potentially be like a thunderclap trainer. Once we figure out what creature to add, we'll go ahead and go to ASE. There is a Harmonious Trio, but we don't play enough creatures to make Harmonious Trio good. You can literally play Wall of Ruins as a blocker. Investigate the Evidence would be a clue plus a crab to block with. Not the worst. Pretty crazy, right? I could play Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog could dig us further in. We've got Oglar here to help us dig. Cast artifact spells. No. Like, there's lots of good cards. The question is just, what am I missing right now? Maybe it's Snappy. I could grab Snappy, and Snappy would help me recast some of the spells if they get countered. I wouldn't be able to recycle them off the Scholar, but maybe that's something what I want. Maybe not quite. This isn't a Thor. Brazen Borrower's not bad, but we're like committed to going. So if we do add a creature, the creature needs to do more than just be a root block. It needs to be something that helps accelerate our storming. So maybe it's something like cost S. Like, we play a lot of like cheaper spells, but notably Cure the Great Glass Spinner is not what we want. Yeah, there's Barrel. Then sorceries you cast cost less. I could technically put Terra back in. What do we... I don't actually know what we want. Target instant sorcery, mana value less than or equal power from your graveyard. Copy that spell. You may cast a copy without paying cost. Maybe I do just add a Psychic Frog. Malevolent Hermit. Non-creature spells you control can't be countered. Spells with flash can't be casted. Can't be countered. Tidebinder. Yeah, let's grab Psychic. It's a discard outlet. It's something that draws hate. Yeah, why not? Why not? We'll figure something else to put into its place, but for now, I think there's... Honestly, that was a good hour. That was a good hour of Magic. You! Talk about exhausting. I think we lost some time to our little computer problems, but... Also, I need to double feeds. Okay. YouTube is still live. Twitch is still live. We're still okay, chat. We're still okay. Go ahead and turn off. Oh, now. Hey. All right, Thamora. You've got some extra face duty today. I can even turn off the placeholder now. Do the stretch. Do our 7th inning stretch. Just like last time. What we have plans for are Moogles, Wondrous Tales, Weekly Hunt. I can't remember if I did the Weekly Hunt yet. I don't think I did. Moogles. No, that's right. We also have PvP to work on. We also have PvP to work on. And it's raining. Cats. Alright, chat. Plan for today. We are going to the Moogles. And then we're doing PvP. And then anything else that we'll do our Wondrous Tales. And then anything else after that we can hunting or whatever. It's the usual. Just the usual. We're almost done with this. Which means that we are literally just going to be doing... Literally just doing PvP and leveling. So it's front lines and then leveling. Okay, yeah. Leveling and front lines give the most XP. So if you just want to do like the super easy leveling, then those are the only two that you have to do each day. And that's going to be like a solid hour of your time. So that'll be literally all we do. Mining Craft, the Moogle Motivator. Hey, hold on. What was that about Moogles going bald? Let's see. If Moogles could go bald, he would be the first, Goobo. Might I trouble you to go to Asa and ask him what's troubling him? Okay. So it's not that the Moogles are worried about going bald. It's that if they could go bald. We have an issue. Trembling Fisher. I'm so excited, Chad. We're slowly getting a social life back together. We're slowly getting a social life back together. Early in stream, I mentioned that the plans to go to the bar are going to be nonplussed. Like, we're not going to be going to the bar now because the people that we were planning on meeting and hanging out with at the bar aren't going to go to the bar. That's probably going to be next week. But instead, we're going to be going... Wasn't it? Instead, we're going to be going to the game shop and we're going to play minis. We're going to play minis! I'm so excited I get to play... I'm going to meet a guy. We're going to see about playing some Blood Bowl. We got to schedule some Space Gits, which is a 40k one-page spin-off where all you use are orcs. That's why they're called Space Gits, because they're all Gits. I'm actually really looking forward to that. We'll see exactly how that's going to go. I don't have my Amazons packed up. I need to do just kind of in the box of holding, waiting to be painted. I don't know what color scheme I want to go with. I've been thinking that maybe what I want to do... There they are. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. And I've got a couple of ideas. So, like, my initial idea is to use, you know, real world team color schemes for the teams that I follow. I used to be a big fan of both the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Cleveland Browns. No, Thamora? What do you mean? Thamora's right here. Thamora's riding on the Dragon Front. Unfortunately, if you're asking about the model, though, no Fugi, I can't open Discord for some reason. Like, I am actually but for whatever reason, my computer probably needs to restart, and it doesn't want to open Discord. So I had a placeholder picture, and I was like, okay, you know what? We are now in Final Fantasy XIV. You can actually just deal with Thamora being my face for today. Discord the program or Discord the website? Discord the program. So, like, it was happening during Arena too, so I think it has to be something on my end, because OBS was lagging something awful when we were doing Arena stuff. I would look over, my model would be super lagged, then I would click over to VTube Studio and everything would be working on the model side. Just weird. Was it Mining Craft? maybe, but Discord's been having issues for a couple of days. So, like, I think that Discord was having an issue, and that's part of why we don't have a Fugi. And then on top of it, I'm saying that my computer is having issues with trying to operate VTube Studio and OBS and whatever programs I'm running for some reason. So today you get the solo only. You get the Wrath Games presentation. You get the Wrath Games presentation where I am going to interface with chat through the use of my avatar. Which, like, you know, there's some charm to that. There's some charm to that. I tend to go back and forth on, you know, do I need to have my model up and running if I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV? If I can just use Thamora as, like, my pseudo model while we're playing Final Fantasy XIV. But then I'm like, but I like my model. And that's really all it comes back down to, is I like using my model when I can. Although, if I'm going to keep having trouble with my current computer rig, and using VTube Studio and OBS, which I don't know why it's struggling more lately than it used to be. I don't know. Then maybe what I need to do is I need to break out the PNG tube program and start coming up with some updates for that. I still have my old PNG, actually. Like, I still have what I now call Kid Hero Girl, which was first gen Hero Girl. Back when I first started and I was still trying things out. I have, like, all the little toggles and stuff. But I don't want to go that far back. So if I do end up doing it, I need to either commission some PNGs or I need to draw some of my own. Alright, we gotta go psych up a move. By the way, so if I can, like, return to a thought that I was having before the explanation, I still need to figure out what to paint my blood bolting. I still need to figure out my team combination. I don't want to do Cleveland Browns, because that's just bad luck. I don't want to do the Ohio State Buckeyes, because that's problematic in its own way. Problematic for me, probably more so than most other people. But also, like, it kind of goes back to the same reason why I'm trying to find, like, an original source of inspiration for my tattoo. I don't want real world associations ruining something that I put a lot of hard work and effort into. So I've got two options. One, I could come up with my own color scheme, which, like, yeah, that's a very reasonable thing to do. The Temple Harpies, I think, is the official name for the Amazons. They have their own official color scheme that I could follow. Or I could, you know, riff off of iShield 21. I could paint them like the Devil Bats. That'd be something pretty cool. And people would be like, "Oh, hey, yo, your color scheme is so good." What? And I'd be like, "Thank you. I based it off the Damon Devil Bats from iShield 21." And they'll go, "Hey, what's iShield 21?" And I could be like, "You haven't heard of iShield 21? It's only the greatest American football manga ever." And then, you know, it'd be a nice little conversation piece. I could even, if I really wanted to be ambitious, I could even paint the helmets to have Quetzalcoatl wings. That could be really good. I actually really like the wings on the helmet motif that the Philadelphia Eagles have. And I like that because that's what Damon used, but also I think it's just a really cool and unique helmet design. They're the only ones in the league that I know. And then it was great because when I was in high school, our football team also used that exact same design. So, like, yeah, I definitely do. We definitely go with Quetzalcoatl wing. That's for sure. Or maybe, like, I could. Yeah, I should probably look up some other information. Like, Damon is a really good starting point, but I already use, like, black and red as the color scheme for my Sisters of Battle, which I'm also gonna get a chance to use. My God, chat. So like, I said that there's a 1-page mini fight game spin-off of 40K called Space Kits. There's another one called Grimdark Future Firefight. And apparently, the Adeptus Sororitas model that my friend made for me, that they gifted me for like Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that, they are actually models from that spin-off game, where they're called Blessed Sisters because hashtag land name product. So I just need to finish painting a couple of models, get ready for next month, and then I can participate in the campaign that our locals are going to run next month. It's going to be so exciting. I'm going to be talking about battle reports and stuff when we come into stream. I need to actually... Let's like stand here. Basically, I'm in that transition phase from I am hyper focused on playing pre-modern right now because pre-modern is really cool and I think it's really fun, to hyper focusing on playing with my toys, playing miniature games, because I think that miniatures are really cool and a lot of fun, especially now that we have a group that seems local and accessible for hanging out and playing. And also, like, they seem like a good group of guys. We're gonna meet. This is partly meeting them tonight. Is going to be partially our first meeting with them and getting a feel for the group. Caitlin shouldn't have any trouble blending in and making friends. Anytime that she's in a game shop environment, she just naturally opens up to people. At least I know OBS isn't going to lag with all the effects that are going to pop up from PvP. We're on Seal Rock. This is unironically my favorite map, I think. Yeah, this is unironically my favorite map. Partly because Seal Rock is the one that we need in order to... Where's the achievements? Guide any 3 company to a total of 100 Seal Rock campaign victories combined. This is going to be a super, super long... Oh my god, they made the second channel diable? They made the second channel diable? What? Yo? Yo? Gotta get that coat. Gotta get that coat. Seal Rock. Just 70 more wins. 70 more wins, chat. Surely we will see that in our lifetime. One of these days, Fran and I are definitely gonna organize a community day. That way we can just take care of Seal Rock. They updated a bunch of stuff with the second channel with the last patch. They've been doing that for a while, I think. Like, it seems like ever since Dawn Trail, I want to say, they have been slowly adding more and more clothing to have second channel die. I always try and like take a look through the notes to see which ones have die channel upgrades. But, you know, I'm also not like paying too much close attention because I don't know some of these pieces by name. So then you just like get a nice little surprise where you go in and you check on a piece of glam that you've been eyeing, and then you realize, oh my god, that it's been blessed. It has been kissed by the update. Win some team fights, but not really holding any. Maybe we can just do the boat. Just do the boat. Just play Bard. If you don't like playing PvP, just play Bard. You can play all the support. All of it. Get so many assists for your trouble too. Especially when you can just like silence the tanks, so that way you turn off all of their mitigate. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be farming for the tanks, you should be for the DPS, but it is what it is. Winning the team fights is what's important. What are we gonna do? Usually it helps when you have like at least one field commander barking orders in the chat, giving everyone directions, going with the goon. You can just be like, yes sir, right away sir. Honestly, we're not gonna be able to catch these, but this is just more about starting dominance, winning a team battle, getting some quick and easy points. Popping your ult so that way you can just like get it back again. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now we just need to get the hell out of here. Question. If I blacklist someone in Final Fantasy XIV, I won't be able to see them, but they'll be able to see me. Does that apply to all your characters of the same account? I don't actually know, but I think it's on a character-by-character basis. That's something I would have to... Fran's saying character-by-character basis. And as you know, Fran is never wrong about anything. At least on this, I would trust him. Like, unless he's driving, in which case he shouldn't be looking stuff up while he's driving. I was thinking of making a dumb joke by creating a hero inspired by Hideki Kamiya and simply blacklisting everyone. God damn it. What would that even do? What would that even do for you? Nah, you're home. Okay, that's good, Fran. You worry me. I always worry when you message in and I know that you're driving on your way home, because I'm like, is he being responsible? Is he being a responsible driver? Do I have to worry about him wrapping his car around someone's trunk? Never know. Never know, chat. Let's see. What are we doing? Are we backing off? Yeah, we're backing off. Ooh, hold on. Are we backing off, or are we sticking around finding yellow? Hero, you know how responsible I am, even when you're being irresponsible? Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I worry. I worry about you and Jess. Like, you're not as irresponsible as Jess sometimes, but, like, you are irresponsible enough that I worry about you, like I worry about Jess. Oh, nope, I'm horribly out of position. Yep. And I'm dead. Can't use speech to text. New phone ain't got it. That is astonishing. AI program where it's actually just like, no, we got rid of speech to text. Just tell the AI what you want to say, and they'll tell you, and they'll type it in for you. But then they somehow horribly misrepresent exactly what it is that you want to be typing. Is that anything? I gotta go help out the fellas over here on the other. There's a website called F-Droid where you can find free apps that do almost everything. Interesting. Gondor calls for aid! Managed to get this one for red, but we are fighting. We are fighting and we are dying. We were fighting, we were dying, we were trying so hard. On the outside looking in. You know, there's something that I've noticed with trying to learn games online. Games like Arena or games like Blood Bowl, something like that. Games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. They are stressful as fuck because you're trying to process a lot of information all at once while there's a timer. It's only slightly different when you're talking about something like a fighting game, because you don't have a timer per se. You have someone breathing down your neck, which is kind of just as bad sometimes. Oh shit, we're getting cut. How are we gonna get out of this one, chat? We're not. Oh, that's how it goes sometimes. would need to get like so many more reps in for a game like Master Duel. Well, Master Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh, something like that. I would need to get more reps in Yu-Gi-Oh wise in order to make playing Master Duel feasible. What I'm trying to say. The bards are the natural hunter of the paladin, of the tank. You play bard and you just like turn off all their mitigation, so that way they don't have any mitigation. Great. Oh, hold on. I'm like locked in just a little bit. Locked in for a little bit, doesn't make for much banter. That's alright. By the way, since we are later in chat, I am praying to God that we are finally done with the bank scenario. I mentioned this at the beginning of stream, but you know, that's beginning of stream chatter, not like, hey, we're a couple of hours into stream, so that way more people haven't shown up just yet. Oh, whoops. Oh, we are gonna get spawn camped to hell and back right now. Blue's pushing in real hard. Rick him, stick that sword into the snake. Well, what if we just like got pinched by blue and yellow for being the best ever? What if, chat? What if? Interrupted at the last second. Alright, so like we're fighting blue over on the base here. Now we have yellow here as well. I mean, they're going to keep pick and fight with us, and we can keep winning the team fights, so, like, why not, right? Excellent. Okay. Now we got to go back, and we got to fight more blue. We go forward and back, and the ones go forward. We're getting double teamed, and we're still pulling out ahead. I mean, it's just 3 points. Like, we just steamrolled that game. Holy shit! 30 assists? That's probably like some of the... That might be like some of the most I've ever had. Oh man, we were stacked with bards. We were absolutely stacked with bards. Okay, hold on. I need to check. What are we at on our file? Human for stats in a single match? No, there isn't. Not that I've seen. I mean, like, technically, I guess there's, like, other stats, but not like kills and assists and stuff like that. If we go into achievements and we check out the PvP. Let's see. Show me the unfinished ones. There's participate in the fights. There's guide the map. Frontlines victory. Storm Forerunner. Guide the adders. Guide the immortal flames. Destroy 30 interceptor nodes. Destroy 50 interceptor nodes. Dispatch a total of 500 enemies on the front line. 1,000 enemies on the front line. 5,000 enemies on the front line. Guide any of the 3 grand companies to a total of 200 frontline victories. Occupy 100 homeless in Seal Rock. This is why I want to get the be claiming the Tomeless on Seal Rock, because there's a title called Keeper of Knowledge that you can get when you've occupied 300 of them. I've only got 44. Oh, I'm getting close to getting these pants. Field Commander Slops. What is that? Is that like a tail hole? Is that like a tail hole for the Makode? The Field Commander code is probably like just one of the best codes in the game, by the way. Like par none. Mounts if you guide any of the companies to a total of 100 Fields of Glory. 13 more wins in front lines. And we get a mount. We get the safeguard system key, which brings us a reprogrammed safeguard system. Will magically bring the machine to life. Vanguard title for 300. Turali Snowman Bell for a mount? That's gotta be a mount, right? That's gotta be a mount. So no, there really isn't anything for individual stats. There's participate, destroy interceptors. That's it. There's some rival wings ones that I haven't done like at all. Quite a few rewards here too. There's Wolves Den here. Ranking. General. Nope. Nothing. It's all just personal glory. Personal glory and lifetime stats. God damn it, look at all this. Okay, so we got PvP out of the way. We got the... What the hell? Oh. Oh, no. Chat, you know what this is? You know what this is? This is the mark. This is the mark of an OG player. This is the mark of an OG player who's been around since 1.0. We just saw a 1.0 player go by. Is that a womb tattoo? No, no, no. This is the tattoo that your character gets if you were playing prior to the 2.0 relaunch. That is a legacy Warrior of Light character right there. I believe Pumpkin Potion has a 1.0 character. There is no way to glam that on. There is no official way to add that mark to your character. It cannot be faked. Unless you decide to do some dubious means, but like, can you take it off? I think you can. I think it is something that you can like theoretically opt out of, but like, I don't know that you. I can't think of a reason why you would, outside of like maybe you just don't like the look of it or whatever, because this is like such a prestigious mark, you know. Like, this is how you say, I was there. I saw Dalamud fall. I saw Louis Swa summon the power of the 12 and, you know, save the world. You know, that type of shit. Alright, we can go ahead and run some of the dungeons to finish off the week. And then... It does look like a womb tattoo. I'd rather have the Skulls of Baldassian one. I mean, like, it's not a choice, right? Like, the choice is whether you would have that on or off, not whether or not, like, not whether or not pick that particular shape. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, to the best of my knowledge, the Scholars of Audacian tattoo is not something that we can currently equip it as just like regular glamour. Ah, I haven't done leveling rollout. Oh, for the first time in forever, healer is in need. I mean, I do agree. The Scholar of Battle Dancing tattoo would be a fun be able to include onto your model for a long. Be nice if they could include something like that after Endwalker, after you have a chance to like actually go to Charlie. Yes, no. Now, to be fair, also, the idea of a womb tattoo was not popularized until... Oh, thank God it's Titan. That means that this is going to be fast, short, and sweet. It also means that I'm level 36 and I don't have Aspect of Helios, but I've got my Umbral Draw, so that's whatever. So... Oh, this is a 4-man trial. I'm the only healer! Well, okay then. I was content to just like... Actually, I want to find out just how much damage this is going to do. Oh, that's actually a lot. Okay, that's a little harder than I thought it was going to be. But I had to find out for science. I have no MP and I must heal. True. Okay, so I actually have to, like, you know, pay attention somewhat in this fight. I can't just power my way through because my gear is only, like, Heaven's Ward good. It's not, you know, Dawn Trail good yet. But when I do get to the point of, like, Dawn Trail good, oh, buddy. I've been watching too much Cider Spider. I've been convinced that, like, I too can be the invincible when the truth is actually closer to, oh shit, I need to actually, like, pretend that I'm playing this game seriously. I might even just, like, put the mitigation on myself just so I can, actually, you know what? If I had the mitigation, maybe I do stand a better chance of being able to tank the pop-up. I mean, it's fine. This is still like early MSQ, so it's not like we actually have a... And I got 2 player combinations for my trouble. Smooth and E. Ooh, we got a chance at a line chat. Got another chance at a line chat. What do you think? The vault? The vault is just like the best one to run unsynced right now for this level range, I think. Because it's the... I'm pretty sure it's the only Heaven's Word. No, I feel like there's gotta be at least one more. It's the one that I know has a guaranteed 2 drops per die, is what I was going to say. And now that they just have all of the die lumped together, you can just run this every week for your Wondrous Tales, get 2 pots of die for it, and now you can paint with all the colors of the wind. It's gosh dang stonks, chat. It's gosh dang stonks. That's cool. It is cool. It is actually, like, really good. Like, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're just, like, building up your repertoire. I don't have nearly as many paints as I believe Fron does, or like, you know, a Raven or Nyx or someone like that. But I have a non-zero amount, and it also means that all that money that I put into getting the Ochu and stuff actually just increases in value. For me, anyway. Because now it's not just, oh, you know, I have to use the green that I got for Thamora because that's what I wanted her color scheme to be, but now I can actually choose to express myself and change up color schemes and stuff. Maybe Thamora has a bit of an emo phase, and we get to wear all the black all the time. You don't have to stick to, you know, just green. We don't have to go full Power Rangers. I'm still experimenting with this as a potential Shadowbringer. If nothing else, it's free seals. And I finally remembered what it was that I needed to spend seals on for the animal relics, and it's moonstones. I need to pour all my seals into Numite and moonstones, so that way I can just get all the crystal sand I need. By the way, pop the sprint button because we're gonna go get that treasure chest over left. No one going through the MSQ stops to pick up this chest because, like, even though it has like a little accessory, it's also got like a glamour prism. So not only are you getting paints, you get a glamour prism. It's just one glamour prism, but like that's one more than you don't need to pay for. Clefairy and Jigglypuff fans, I need moonstones. But also like Nidoking and Nidoqueen too. That was the thing that always got me about playing Gen 1. Is that you just did not have enough moonstones to get all 4 moonstone evolutions on your own. And like, I'm pretty sure that was by design. You know, part of Pokemon was, hey, let's split this up into 2 versions because we want to encourage kids to be able to trade with each other. So, you know, why not? Why not only give the players 3 moonstones? So that way they can't evolve all the moonstone Pokemon even if they find them all. I'm trying to think, but where were 3 moonstones? I feel like one was on the route for Viridian Forest, but it was behind the cuttable tree, so you couldn't get it like right away anyway. By the way, chat, Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Nidorina, and Nidorino. You've got 4 Pokemon that need moonstones, but you only have 3 moonstones. Which Pokemon are you not giving a moonstone to? Which Pokemon has not earned it in your eyes? Which one needs to be left out into the cold because you decided, actually, you know what? I like this other one better. It was like Wigglytuff and Clefable. I feel like those are iconic. You want to evolve those. So it really comes down to your preference on Nidoking and Nidoqueen. And like, no disrespect intended to Nidoqueen, but I have always been more of a Nidoking fan. I just think he rocks out a little harder. You like the Nidos, but they deserve more love. Man, the Nidos were weird. They weren't able to like exactly work out how to put in genders into their Pokemon. So they just had 2 Pokemon that are literally considered different species, despite the fact that it's really just more about dimorphism. The prototype of gender was actually, in fact, just Nidokings are from Mars, Nidoqueens are from Venus type stuff. Nidoking was going to get a G-Max form and didn't get implemented in the end. Is that true? Because, like, Nidoking G-Max sounds sick. Remember, chat, we don't get to actually, like, kill this Vault Priest. He doesn't die until after he summons all these demons. Think you like the Nidos both equally? I mean, they're both good designs. But if we're talking about margins, It really just comes down to margins. I think Nidoking does look cooler than Nidoqueen. But also, like, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe it's a little redundant type-wise, but then I was like, well, hold on. Isn't that the truth for, like, Clefable and Wigglytuff as well? Then I remember that you're not really grabbing Wigglytuff and Clefable because you're necessarily going to use them. They're really more like collector type Pokemon. Yeah, okay. I can never remember if I can actually like one-shot the or not. If the answer is yes, though. And then we just like, we never need the Orcish. So just go. Hold the bells. Hallowed Halls and all the bells. Are these tradable? I think they are. Could we actually be selling these? I'm gonna need to see how what the. Let me turn these in real quick. And then we're actually gonna see how much they go for on the. And then after that, we can talk about what we're gonna do for raiding. Because like, hey, folks, if you didn't know, we have a redeem called Lead the Raid. We're always looking for people that we want to raid into. We're always looking for people that are cool, that maybe they're playing online MMOs like Final Fantasy, maybe they're playing card games like Magic, maybe they're transgender like me, maybe they're just someone that you think is really... That's really all that we require, is that they would be... follow our community vibes. So if you can think of anyone like that, go ahead and hit that redeem. Otherwise, I'll just be raiding into someone who following happens to be live. Which, you know, I'm never down about that. We've been raiding the Joe Cat for the past couple of days because Joe Cat's doing subathon, and I'm trying to work on getting comfortable with raiding into bigger streamers. I guess that's just part of the strat, that you raided the bigger streamers, and that lets you gotta go through. You raid into people, get your eyes, they understand, they start recognizing you coming by. They're like, oh, hey, I know that person. And you start building like the familiarity over time. Oh, there is stuff in my... Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think that this was going for like any particularly expensive, but hey, you know what? 100 bucks is 100 bucks. It'll save someone a grind, I guess. A faded copy of Good King Mog. Faded copies go for like... Sure. I fortunately do not have... any like convenience space right now, so I can stuff up there see how fall off. Bigger streamers as Joe Cat or bigger streamers as in Hassan Piker? Bigger streamers like definitely having more active people in their community. I think that's really what it comes down to. I don't know that the follower count really means anything in the grand scheme of things. But if you're talking about just raw numbers, I think the active viewers that you have is probably the way to go. Because some people, they just like, they follow streamers. And then it's like, okay, you followed someone and now you're following a bunch of other people because you're like, maybe you're going to watch them someday. But you never actually get around to watching them. Just kind of collecting them for maybe sometime. Or, you know, you don't really use your who's live list or whatever. You just kind of know exactly who it is you're following, or maybe you're just doing follow for follow stuff, or maybe you're just one of those people who's like, I just want to follow everyone. IDK. So like, you know, the live audience number is actually more the okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look to see who is currently live. And if it is like if it ends up being a joke, there's only 3 people are streaming today, and yeah, plus like Joe Cat's doing Guild Wars 2, and Guild Wars 2 is. And then if you're over on the YouTube side, then like, hey, you know what? Thank you so much. Leave a like, maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Tell people that you think might like the stream to check out the stream. Check out the VODs on the YouTube side. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you all so much for doing. The YouTube side, we're going to go end it now. Bloop. And then over on the Twitch side, we're ready out.